everyone. My name is Pastor Chris. I'm the pastor of First United Protestant Church here in Hilo, Hawaii. I wanted to do something a little different and fun today. I know a lot of folks are stuck inside, have had to postpone their travel and vacation plans. And so this is an opportunity to see a little bit of Hilo, Hawaii, and also an opportunity to see our church. I wanted to give you a tour of our church today. If this is something that you also want to do, I want to encourage you to use the hashtag #DiscoverTheChurch. Hashtag #DiscoverTheChurch. So as we get started today, you may be wondering why I'm doing this out in the rain, and that's because it rains all the time in Hilo. We receive about 130 to 140 inches of rain per year, so it rains all the time. So people work and do things here in the rain. As we get started today, I decided to start out in the parking lot so you can get a little pan of our church campus and also see we're on Wainuinui Avenue. It's a main road here in Hilo. The Kaiser Clinic and our Hilo Hospital are also right next to the church. We share our campus with Kamehameha Schools. Kamehameha has a preschool here on our campus, and Kamehameha Schools is a very prestigious schools across the Hawaii Islands. We also share our campus with a Crochet Church. They're a vibrant community from the island of Crochet, and they use the church in the late Sunday afternoons and throughout the week. And one Sunday a month, we do joint worship service together, and that worship service is really energetic. People look forward to coming together on that particular Sunday. You're going to see the preschool here over to our left, and then also our church bell tower, which still works. When I get in the church sanctuary later, I'm going to ring that church bell so you'll be able to hear it, hopefully. We're going to get started with a little bit of history here at our church on the lanai. There are some pictures of the former churches and a little bit of information, so I'll tell you about that. This is our big church sign here too, First United Protestant Church. We were established in 1868, and I'll tell you some more about that. So, the history of our church goes as far back as 1835, when the first missionaries started coming to the island. We had a lot of trading ships and whaling ships that would come, and so a small stone chapel was built. It was called the Bethel, and a family lived there, but it was really the first place where people started meeting for worship. And so people would come. The church's mission was, they were really known for their hospitality and welcome for whalers and traders who would come, and the mission of that early church was to support them spiritually and morally. And so this is a little look at that Bethel church. After the missionaries arrived and really started becoming established, another church was built in 1867, but the church was first established in 1868, and it was known as the First Foreign Church. It was at that time that King Kamehameha V signed our church charter here on the island. So this is a look. And the church was known as the Meeting House, and it was built in the style of New England churches out on the East Coast. A little later, as the church grew and more missionaries came, a second church was built in 1897. This was the First Foreign Church, and it was built down in downtown Hilo. And this church offered some new improvements that the last church didn't have. This church had a balcony, it had a pipe organ, and it also offered stained glass windows. In 1954, the church changed its name from the First Foreign Church to First United Protestant Church. In 1969, the current church and campus was built, and this is just a picture of what you kind of just looked at. An interesting thing is that components from each of the other churches were put into the construction of this church. You'll see stained glass windows up here at the top, which were from the church. Components from the pipe organ of the previous church were here. And then stones from each of the three churches were used in the construction of this church. As we turn around and go in, you'll look at the very bottom of the bell tower, and you'll see that those stones are from the previous churches. Let's go inside and take a look. So you'll see the bell tower here at the bottom and stones, and those stones are from the previous churches. As we go inside, this is our prayer corner here at the church. Folks will come over and light a candle and offer a prayer, and that candle usually stays lit throughout our worship service. As you come in, you're going to get a picture over here of a drawing of the third church that was built in downtown Hilo in 1897. And then over here in the glass case is the charter that was signed by King Kamehameha V in 1868. We have some quilts that you'll see hanging in the church. These quilts were made and donated by folks who used to belong to the church but have since passed. They were beloved members of the church, and these quilts kind of hang in their memory and honor to the church. Over here, you'll see some pews. These pews were from the third church. And then as we go into the sanctuary, you're going to see what that looks like here. So this is the inside sanctuary of First United Protestant Church. On Sunday mornings, we have our lanai doors open. The louvers of the church are open. Today they're closed. And you'll see the stained glass windows from that third church. And then I'm going to hop over here and ring that bell so you hear that, our church bell. No cord, it's a button. Up here at the altar, you'll see this altar, the chairs, and these little stands are also all from the third church. What you see up here are things that are made out of koa wood. Koa wood is a sacred wood here in Hawaii. It's very treasured. And then the last thing that I want to show and share with you is this altar cross. When I got to this church a little over a year ago, I noticed that there was no altar cross here at the church. Our office administrator, her husband has done a lot of the wood things here at the church, repaired wood things here at the church, and so I asked her if her husband would be interested in making an altar cross for our church. An interesting story is that shortly after his mother passed away, he did make an altar cross and dedicated it to her on a church that's on another island here. And he said that he would be interested in doing that again, but he wanted to dedicate this cross to his children and grandchildren. This cross is made in the style of a Calvary cross. It's made out of koa wood and tiger wood. It's a beautiful cross. It was dedicated to our church in August of 2019. Kelly's family, children and grandchildren, were here that day to dedicate this cross. Sadly, a little bit over a month later, Kelly passed away. This cross serves as a loving reminder to his wife and also here to our church. It's a symbol of Christian unity and our union with anyone who comes to use this space for worship. I want to thank you for tuning in and encourage you to also to show your church what your church looks like, its little twerks and the things that make it special at #Discover the Church. May the peace of God be with you all. Aloha.